when the Attitude Era came about and Stone Cold blew up to his popularity, I just remember thinking that there was no cooler person on planet Earth.
It
Like
wasn't.
I didn't have a T-shirt. I have a Stone Cold T-shirt on right now. I didn't have a T-shirt that wasn't a Stone Cold T-shirt, and I cut the sleeves out of all of them. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin is the only person that will get a 12-year-old straight boy to go buy a Speedo. I mean, I wanted to be him. Like and everybody in my family was like enthralled with this. Like my grandpa, he had a cul-de-sac haircut for years, and like Stone Cold finally made him like let go and shave it all.
We all had that uncle that did that thought that they were stone cold, but they didn't look. Just because you're an alcoholic doesn't mean you're actually stone cold.
Right, exactly. Stone Cold's 6'2", 280.
and with muscles. He's got a six-pack, you know what I mean? And it's not just the beer, it's like.
That's all they were relating to. They're like, I'm beer and I hate my boss. So, yeah.
So I'm just like him.
Exactly. My grandpa, and dude, that was the thing with kayfabe and everything back then. It's just like my grandpa and everybody. I remember them, and I think it's not just that. I think the actors were better. I mean, that's what they are. They're entertainers. Mm-hmm. It's all these things wrapped up into one. They're actors, they're athletes, they're entertainers, they're all these things in one. And I just feel like it was better back then, to where even my grandpa would be like watching it with me, and he would watch somebody cut a promo against Stone Cold, and he would turn to me and be like, "That somebody couldn't whoop a picture of Stone Cold." Like he was in it.
Well, Justin, that's why I've named this podcast When Wrestling Was Real. The bumps, the chair shots, all that stuff, it's still real. What those guys, when you jump off that top rope onto concrete,
right,
you can't fake that, right?
It happened, right.
Yes. Now, what wrestling was to me in the 80s, 90s, especially Attitude Era, was I believed the stories. I believed that Stone Cold and Vince hated each other. I believed that Undertaker and Kane were brothers. You know what I mean? Yes. You believed those stories. And that's where I want to take people back to. I want to take them back to you there with your grandpa watching Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you believed every bit of it. And he did too.
100%. And the crazy thing is, I try to tell these kids nowadays that watch wrestling and all these things, I was like, you guys do not understand the pandemonium Stone Cold and this group of wrestlers at that time, they were on top of the world. If Stone Cold would have had Instagram in '96, he would have been 31 billion followers or something like it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But I would like to get your opinion on this. I appreciate the fact that those guys didn't have social media. Sure. And the reason being was, now you see these wrestlers today, and I don't know how many of them you follow anymore, but being in this world, I follow just about all of them. And you see them doing these TikToks and everything else, and then all of a sudden they go out to the ring and they're supposed to be some badass. And I'm like, dude, you were just doing a chicken dance, on your TikTok yesterday.
Right. Now, I think if Stone Cold would have had a TikTok, you wouldn't have saw a chicken dance. But I'm just saying that it was all like they made sure that allure stayed with them outside the ring.
Yes.
And it was also, it helped that is who he is. That helped.
Yes. And I think that's what made it so special for us seeing what's going on today versus what it was back then. The fact that they kept that kayfabe, the fact that they kept it where it was real, made it more special, I think, than what we see today.
Well, I agree, because I'm not here to knock today's wrestling, but it is crazy to me that they have came out and it said that everything is scripted, not fake, because the moves they're doing are very real.
Yeah.
They came out and let everybody know that it's scripted. People are making, like you said, their TikToks and everything, and they're talking in depth about the script and how they felt about all these things. And then to me, when I hear all that, and then I go to a match and I see some grown man standing there like, "Turn around, ref," I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's written that he's not supposed to turn around, no matter how much you scream at him. But when I was a kid, I was like, "Turn around, ref," and nobody told me that he wasn't supposed to turn around.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a difference. It is a difference. There's a difference in the fact that I never knew he wasn't supposed to turn around.
And
Now
that's
they're
what
telling you, hey, tonight's going to go exactly how we wanted it to go, and you're still going to pretend to be upset about it.
that's what made it special.
I agree. I think that's the thing. That was the factor that made it. And you can't put the cat back in the box.
No. And I think what happens now is the older we get, we have to, if you want to watch wrestling still, you have to view it through a different lens.
Yeah, true.
You've got to view it through an entertainment lens. You've got to view it through an appreciation lens. And then when you do see some wrestlers, and I don't know how much you're watching wrestling now, but there's a guy right now, Gunther, who is just old school, man. He is a throwback. He just retired John Cena, and he's a guy that I watch and I go, dang, I wish he was around during the Attitude Era.
He kind of reminds me of like Ken Shamrock. There was nothing overly flashy that I saw whenever I watched him.
We're going to dive a little bit into your love of Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, I think that everybody's Mount Rushmore of professional wrestlers, if Stone Cold doesn't live there, I don't know if you've ever even watched wrestling. You know,
you're just not old enough. Yeah.
I mean, I think he's still a top 5 T-shirt sales every year. Yeah. You know, my mom wouldn't let me get one because Austin 3:16, she thought that it was blaspheming the Bible. So I wasn't allowed to have that shirt.
Sure.
Okay. What's your first moment that you can remember about Stone Cold?
Whenever he and Bret Hart had that match where he's just pouring blood and he ends up passing out instead of tapping out for the sharpshooter. I was like, that is the toughest guy I've ever seen in my life.
That was WrestleMania 13.
Yeah.
And what that was, to dive a little deeper into that match, WrestleMania 13, we've got Bret Hart versus Stone Cold, and what WWE needs at that point is Bret Hart to turn heel and Stone Cold to turn babyface. And Bret Hart was always one of the greatest baby faces of all time. And they needed him to be a bad guy, which is like pissing up a rope. You know, it was hard every kid loved Bret Hart.
Yeah, exactly.
And it took a moment, that they weren't, from what I understand, they weren't supposed to get color. They weren't supposed to, there was no blood supposed to happen in that match that night.
Really? Because the cut looks perfect.
Oh, it is. And it was from the conversations apparently prior it wasn't supposed to be as severe as it was. It wasn't supposed to be.
It's pretty insane. That picture is insane.
Yes. And you got to think, man, at that time and everything, we were in that Attitude Era and things were pretty aggressive. But man, to get that much blood going, that's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of really kicked it off. Like it ramped it up a bit for sure.
We went up a notch after that.
We did. It was insane. From then on, it was the wildest TV you've ever seen.